If you've ever been betrayed and you've decided to stay in the relationship, you're probably exhausted. Not just hurt, exhausted. Because you're trying. You're trying to understand, you're trying to heal, you're trying to move forward. And somehow you keep ending back in the same place. Same conversation, same pain, same feeling that nothing is really changing. And what I want to tell you right from the beginning is this: most of the time, it's not because you don't love each other. It's because you're caught up in patterns that feel completely natural after betrayal. But they actually keep you stuck in it. And once you can see them, identify them, things start to shift. And I'll say this very honestly: some couples do recover. Not easily, not quickly, but they do. And the difference is not who loved each other more. It's who was able to stop repeating the patterns that keep them stuck. So I want to walk you through some of the most common mistakes I see. Mistake number one: everything becomes about the affair. The first one is something almost every couple does. It's turning everything back to the affair. In the beginning, that makes completely sense. Everything touches that pain. Everything reminds you of it. But over time, even small things start to become about the betrayal. So one partner says, "You didn't call me back." And within a second, it becomes, "Of course you didn't. You lied to me before." And now, you're not talking about the missed call anymore. You're back inside the drama. And listen, the connection is real, right? It activates that pain. The nervous system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But when everything becomes about the betrayal, there's no space for the relationship to exist in the present. Nothing gets resolved. Nothing new gets to count. And part of healing is slowly learning to say, "This hurts me now." And this also activated something from before. Those are not always the same thing. Mistake number two: the investigator. The second pattern is becoming the investigator, checking the phone, looking at the messages, tracking location, asking the same questions again and again. I want to be very clear. In the beginning, some transparency is necessary. If trust was broken, the person who broke it has to be willing to be open, accountable, visible. That's part of repair. But there's a difference between transparency and living your life as a detective. Because when you're constantly checking, your body never leaves survival mode. You're always bracing. And the truth is, you can't check your way into feeling safe. At some point, the shift becomes not, "How do I catch you?" because that's what it feels like, but, "Are you showing up differently, consistently, over time?" That's where trust actually starts to build. Mistake number three: getting stuck in the why. The third one is getting stuck in the why. Why did this happen? Why did you do it? What did they have that I don't? And this one is painful because it makes so much sense. Your mind is trying to make the pain make sense. Because if it makes sense, maybe it'll hurt less. But what I've seen again and again is this: no explanation is ever enough. Because betrayal is not just something you understand, it's something you feel in your body. It's a loss of safety. And safety doesn't come back because something was explained well. Some understanding matters, of course, but couples get stuck when they live inside that question, going over it again and again. And the more helpful question is actually, what needs to change so this doesn't happen again? That's where repair begins. Mistake number four is leverage. The fourth one is harder to talk about and to admit to, but it's when the betrayal becomes leverage. "You owe me forever. You don't get to be upset. You should be grateful I stayed with you." I don't want to say this carefully. The anger underneath is completely valid. Something real was broken. You were hurt. But if the relationship becomes a place where one person has permanent power and the other has permanent debt, it stopped being a relationship. it becomes something else. Healing needs accountability, but it also needs, at some point, a path back to being partners again. Otherwise, the relationship collapses under that imbalance. Mistake number 5, rushing healing. The fifth mistake is trying to move on too quickly. Sometimes it's the person who was hurt because the pain is too much. Sometimes it's the person who caused the hurt because the guilt is too much. But this doesn't work like this. Infidelity is much closer to trauma and grief. And grief doesn't go away because you decide you're done talking about it. If you push it down too quickly, it comes back. Distance, resentment, tension that no one can explain. Healing means letting it be processed honestly. There's no shortcuts through this. Mistake number 6, living in the hurt. And the last one is when the relationship becomes organized around the pain. When someone stays but emotionally lives inside the wound. And again, human, of course this is human, the anger makes sense, but there's a difference between feeling anger and living in it. At some point, there's a deeper question. Are we trying to build something new, or are we living inside what was broken? Those are different paths. So what actually helps? Not ignoring what happened, not rushing it, not stay stuck in it either. The couples I see who do recover, they're willing to do something that doesn't come naturally. They slow things down. They learn how to hear each other. They take responsibility in a real, ongoing way. And they build something that is different from what existed before. If this video helped you, share it with someone who might need it. Because this is one of those experiences that feels incredibly isolating. And sometimes just realizing that what you're going through has a pattern and a way through, that's where things begin to shift. And if there's one thing I want to take with you is this. The question that keeps couples stuck is, why did this happen? The question that helps couples heal is, what do we do now? That's where healing begins.